It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Hey guys, what's up? My name is Sandy. For those of you that don't know who I am, I own a company called Couture Brows and Beauty Brand Academy. I know there is some drama, I guess to say the least, with a past student of mine. I have been getting some questions because there are some videos where she is wearing our uniform in the video, and I just wanted to kind of pop on here and say that she is not affiliated with Couture Brows or Beauty Brand Academy. She was a past student, and I will not comment on anything else. I do have stories and situations that have happened, but that is besides the point right now. I refuse to make any comments on somebody that has issues with mental health or who may be going through some sort of a crisis and who also is probably already feeling very overwhelmed with things. However, I did want to just kind of clarify and clear the air in regards to my company. She is not associated with us any longer, and her time with us was relatively quick. And I do feel sorry for anybody that was personally victimized. And I wish everybody well, including her, including Bree. And that's all I'm gonna say. So.
I literally fucking killed my fucking daughter for you! I'm killing my fucking daughter for you! How the fuck can you do this?
I am Bree Power's neighbor. Yes, I am Bree Power's neighbor, and it's my turn to share my story. Alright, so let's get into it. So, August of 2022, I moved into the same apartment complex that I'm in now. I was 19 at the time, and then about like maybe 6-ish months later, so spring of 2023, Bree moved in. I saw her setting up her business, whatever, didn't talk to her for a while until let's see, May of 2023, that's when I ended up seeing her in passing with her friend. She was like, oh my god, you look so cute. Would you like to go to a party with us? It was just in the clubhouse, like in our apartment complex. And so I was like, yeah, why not? Like, I love meeting people. And so then they were like, okay, cool. So I went and I ended up meeting people there, but mostly I was hanging out with Brie. I went to her place, met her cat, helped her pick a cute outfit for the party. And then I felt like there was maybe something off about her, but me, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Super naive, I know. Whatever. But yeah, so I was 20 at the time and she was 26. But anyways, so I noticed whenever we would hang out after that, then I feel like it could be fun sometimes, especially when she helped me like pick a business casual outfit for a professional photo shoot I had, because I'm a chem major and associate instructor at the U, but a lot of times it was just exhausting. Like, I swear whenever she would talk, it was just like story after story after story after story. And like, I have a really good memory, so I can keep track of that stuff pretty well, but the problem is she was always the victim, okay? She was always the victim. And that bugged the shit out of me. But again, super naive, giving people the benefit of the doubt. Woo! Well, that kind of all blew up in my face, right? Because, so fast forward a year to, well, almost, to April of 2024. So now I was 21, or well, I am 21 still. And then she was 27. But then she came over to my place because my friend and I had been hanging out, but we stayed up all night because we were just talking. And so then we ended up sleeping all day. And I guess like my roommate was worried about me because I didn't respond to her all day, which was understandable because she was out of town. And so then she had Brie come and check on me. And so Brie did, but I was totally fine. And so then me and my coworker and her ended up hanging out at my place for a bit, but then we went down to her place. And then she was like, oh my god, like, I can get you PMU certified, you can work with me, blah, blah, blah. And of course, I was so naive. I don't know why the fuck I was so naive. This is embarrassing. But, so I did, because I was like, oh my god, it would be so cool to like learn how to do tiny tattoos. And so then she gave me like the whole kit so I could practice or whatever. But then all of a sudden, like about a week later, then she texted me and she was like, hey, can you give me the tiny tattoo stuff back? And so I was like, yeah, sure. And so I went to her apartment and gave it back, whatever. She was like, thank you. And then a few days later, so now this was a Thursday, she like texted me and then she was like, did you drug me? And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, drug you with what? And then she was like, I feel a difference in my body. And I was like, well, like, what does that even mean? And so then I just kind of ignored it. I was like, okay, that was weird. And then 2 days later, it was a Saturday, I was walking to my car to go to work. She was there, right outside my car. I was already running late, and she comes up to me, and then she was like, oh my god, like, did you drug me? Like, please, please, please just tell me. Like, it's okay. It's gonna stay between us. I just need to know because I have a competency test, and so I need to know if I should go to the doctor and get my blood drawn. And I was like, well, I didn't. And she was like, you promise you didn't? And I was like, yeah, I promise. And I didn't even know what the fuck to say. So I gave her a pinky promise. But it was giving me anxiety because that conversation lasted almost 10 minutes and I was already running late for work, but I felt like I couldn't run away from the conversation because if I did, then that would have seemed like really sus. You know what I mean? And so I got to work almost 10 minutes late and then I had like some bullshit ass excuse because I didn't exactly want to tell anybody at work that somebody was falsely accusing me of a felony. Like, how the fuck do I explain that? And so then, after that whole situation, then I thought that it was done. Like, that was a Saturday, and I thought that was it. But then, the day after that, she was like, oh my god, like, there was seriously, like, you seriously drugged me or something because I was at my grandma's house for like 3 days and I was sick. And I was like, well, then you were just sick. And like, how the fuck would I even drug you? Like, drug you with what? And like, how? You know? But then, fast forward to the following Thursday. So a week after she initially accused me of drugging her. Then my roommate called me in the middle of class and I didn't respond because I was in class, but then she texted me and she was like, do you have time to talk right now? Like, it's really important. And I was like, oh. And so I literally left class and called her. And then she was like, did you see Bree's Instagram? And I was like, no. And then she was like, she apparently, like, she accused me of drugging her. She accused my roommate of helping me. And then after that, then she was going off on my roommate about how I drugged her and how my roommate helped me do it and how the police had us wear wires, and was accusing my roommate about her and her boyfriend at the time having premarital sex for 2 years, and that she was gonna tell the church because like my roommate and like my roommate has always been LDS growing up. They didn't even know each other for 2 years. It was like what? Like not even 6 months. But anyways, so all of that stuff, screenshots of those texts of her accusing us, she posted it on her story with our names, our faces, our Instagram accounts, and our fucking address. Yeah. And so then from there, then my roommate was like, we really need to file a police report. And my roommate was like, I'm going right now. And so she went to the police station and I was like freaking the fuck out. Like, I don't even know what to do. And I was afraid to go home. And so then my roommate was like, do not go home. So I was like, yeah, I could call. And so I was freaking out. And so I went to the professor that I TA for because I was like, I have to teach my class, right? But I was freaking out. And so then I was like, what the fuck do I even do? And then professor was like, report it to the police. Like, she's accusing you of a felony and blasting you like on like 125K followers. But then I was like, but I have to teach my class. I'll go right after. And then she was like, nope, like go right now. Like, we'll figure it out. We'll find someone to cover you, whatever, just go. So I was like, okay. And so by then it was my finals week. And so instead of studying for my finals, I literally had to like deal with all this bullshit. And then I pulled so many all-nighters because I had to deal with this bullshit by day and then study by night. Wasting my fucking time. And then I swear, oh my god, she kept posting and we kept reporting it and we were like, where the fuck did this even come from, right? And so then like I ended up having to go to the cops. And then after that, my roommate and I, like by that point she had moved out because she got married, but like, you know, roommate until then. We went to the leasing office and we had to report her to there too. And the leasing office said that they were pretty sure that it was her trying to get out of her lease because she wanted to get out of it early, and so she was trying to act like she felt uncomfortable there. Didn't work, obviously. Cops showed up at her place because why the fuck would you accuse somebody of a felony that they did not commit, right? I didn't see what happened after that because I was like, I am so tired. Like, I haven't slept in 2 days, and I went back to my place and like passed the fuck out. So yeah. She's crazy. And I feel like there was more I was going to say, but maybe I'm blanking. But what I do need to say is that this was in April, right? Well, fast forward to a month ago. So what? 4 months later, she texted me and said, I miss you. I'm sorry for what happened. It wasn't even a I'm sorry for what I did. It was a sorry for what happened. And tried to add me on every single social media in existence. Of course I declined all of them, but what the fuck? I'm pretty sure there's more to the story, but I'm forgetting at the moment, but I'm going to post another video because I am running out of time on here. I've got 20 seconds left.
I wanted to break my fast from Ramadan, but I am also Mormon and dating, and I just want a man with a plan.
I am on here because many of you have reached out to me and asked me why I took my videos down regarding Bree Powers, and the reason being is because after doing some more detailed research and discovering more shit, I am not a supporter of a child sex offender in any way, shape, or form, never will be. I'm a mother myself, and I think that is the most heinous thing you can do. I think that children only have us as adults, and if I am supporting someone, even in my line of work and being in mental health, if I'm supporting someone that has the audacity to take advantage of a child, then I'm no better. So there's your answer. I strongly urge you that if you have been a victim of a sexual assault by Bree or by anybody else, that you have the courage to reach out to police. It's never too late to make a police report or to talk to somebody, but it's very important to get this person off the streets. So
My For You page this morning was taken over by Bree Powers, and in the few videos I saw, no one has talked about the fact that a couple years ago she went to a tanning salon. I worked there at the time, but I wasn't there when this happened, and she got in an altercation and then punched a customer that was standing up for one of the employees, and then when she went to leave, she tried running that person over with her car. Like, why are we not talking about this? Like, there's a news article.
So, I've gone down the Bree Powers rabbit hole, and I found some very interesting information about this woman on the internet, and a lot of, like, the stories that I've heard say that you can look up things online about her and different news stories. Well, I went to Utah's, like, court hearing page and typed in her name, and yeah, I'd like to share with everybody. Also, all of this is public information. I didn't do anything wrong, so here we go. Also, she has 6 upcoming court cases or court hearings in October alone, and it was just October, but it's still like 6 in 1 month is kind of a lot, so this girl gonna be busy. So the first 3 are the 1st of October, and they all take place at 8:30, but all 3 of these are completely different days, which is crazy. I wonder if it's just because it's state of Utah versus her, so they all did it on the same day, maybe. So first one is a felony. Well, it's state felony, it says, and it's 2 Class A misdemeanors, and it's aggravated assault, reckless endangerment, failure to stop at command of law enforcement, and that was April 9th of last year, and this one says it's a domestic violence related case. Also, I wrote all of these down because I didn't want to forget nothing. So second one, it looks like it's a Class A misdemeanor, reckless endangerment, and that one was January 18th of 2020. Which I don't know why they're doing this one so far out, because this was 4 years ago. I understand like the ones that took place last year or this year, but 2020 was like so crazy. That was such a long time ago. I wonder if it's because like COVID related, maybe. Okay, third one. It's a 3rd degree felony, and it's violation of a protection order, and that one was May 8th of last year. 4th one. Also, a lot of these get crazier the more that I go through the list, so yeah. The 4th one, it's okay, October 4th is when her hearing is at 10, and it's Orm City versus her. It's 1 Class A, 3 Class B misdemeanors, a Class C, and 2 infractions. So it's disorderly conduct within 5 years, interfering with peace officer, threat of violence, criminal trespassing, notice against entry, use of handheld device while driving, improper left turn, and tailgate violation. And a lot of these, like the wording is just how it was worded on the site that I got it off of, which was literally just Utah court hearings and her name. Okay, the 4th one. Oh no, so sorry. The 5th one is gonna be October 9th at 9:30, and this is Murray City versus her. This one's a Class B misdemeanor, and it was electronic communication harassment, and that was September 6th of last year. Now, the final one, which was super crazy when I was reading it, because it was a lot. So it's October 16th. This one's going to be a virtual hearing, I guess, which I don't know why, because this one seems like the biggest one. Like, it was a lot of stuff that she did, so I don't know why they made this one virtual, but it's Hurricane City versus her. Maybe like the distance. So she has 4 Class B misdemeanors and 6 infractions. So that's 10 things she did all on one day. So it's DUI, first offense in 10 years, brake light, or it says brake light reflectors to display red color, reckless driving, failure to keep controlled substance in original container, failure to disclose identity, vehicle mirror, no left mirror, disorderly conduct, refuse to comply with police order, no valid license expired, driving without registration, license plate removed from registered vehicle used on another, and that was April 24th of last year. So I think we've learned some things here with all of her court hearings, I think. One is, I guess, if you're gonna go on a date with somebody or move in with somebody, or like, I don't know, just start to become friends with somebody and they seem nice at first, maybe just like Google your state and the court hearings and then type their name in, and if you have their name, and then you can kind of just see what their history looks like if they have one. Also, it just kind of validates all the stories that I've heard, you know, like all these people are saying that like she's done these horrible, awful things to these people. And I feel for these people that have had to deal with her. But it just kind of like validates them and validates what they're saying, and like kind of makes their stories all completely credible, which I didn't say anybody was lying about their interaction with her, because that's kind of crazy to lie about, but like everything that she's going to court for backs everything up. So, you know, also, I do hope she gets help, and hopefully maybe like she can realize, like with all 6 of these hearings that she has, maybe this will be like a wake-up call for her. Well, maybe not, but hopefully she'll wake up and realize like maybe she does need things that she has to work on and within herself, and if she's had a hard life, like find a new therapist and, you know, work through those things. So I don't think that's gonna happen, but maybe, who's to say? But yeah, so do with that information what you will. Type your state, type the person's name, court hearings, and you can kind of just like fall down that rabbit hole. So yeah, okay.
Surviving Brie. Okay, so my For You page has been really blowing up with a specific individual who I used to be friends with for approximately 3 years, and everyone always told me, wait till you get to your 3rd-year friendship with her, like you're gonna see her true colors. And even though I already did, I like was in denial in a sense, and I don't know, we shared the same zodiac sign, and I don't know, I just thought that we just trauma bonded, honestly. We just trauma bonded. And our birthdays were super close together, obviously, just literally like a couple days apart. And we started hanging out. I met her through one of my friends, and Brie had actually had a split eye from her and she had a split eye open, and I don't know, I just felt like I was a dancer at that time. I just barely started dancing, and she was an escort, and I don't know, we would just like hang out sometimes. She would always call me, have like 10-15 stories about things that were going on in her life. And I mean, shit, I did too, you know. We just kind of became close that way. But over the years, things had gotten like crazier. She had actually, I feel like she was constantly trying to actually get me drunk and actually take advantage of me. She also would try to take pictures of me, constantly, like when I was in my underwear or whatever, like just constantly trying to record me and post me, and it kind of was like annoying and frustrating because she was always trying to record me no matter what. And towards I would say it was middle end of 2018, she reached out to me and told me that she was pregnant and asked me if I could be a part of her gender reveal. So I went to the appointment for finding out what the gender of the baby was, and she was about 5.5 months pregnant. I'm pretty sure this time I have a picture to prove. And throughout this process, she was engaged with someone else while she got pregnant. Apparently they want a break or whatever. And she was obsessed with Bezos. And that's not who got her pregnant, though. That was who she was engaged to. Some other guy on one of her pictures, on one of her TikToks, you can see she posts a bunch of her exes. It's the big, tall guy that's actually the father's dad. And she had gotten pregnant, and I don't know, I feel like she had never even wanted the baby to begin with. She would always complain about certain things or whatever, and I don't know. I just feel like she was constantly obsessed with Bezos, even though she was pregnant with some other dude's guy, and I think in her mind, if she maybe got rid of this baby, she could be with Bezos. So she decided at 30 weeks pregnant, I say full term because if the baby would have just been born, it would have lived by itself, literally, like the baby would have lived. It was a girl, by the way. And she flew to New Mexico and asked me to go with her to do this, and I couldn't. Morally, I couldn't, and I was just trying to be her good friend at that time. Like, I was kind of like, I still am surprised that I even was her friend during that time. It kind of like really pisses me off, and I have like deep guilt inside, and that's the only reason why I'm even bringing this up today, is for that little girl, that thank God dodged a bullet from her parent. And she went to New Mexico and got a, I would say, full-term abortion the baby was fully grown. She was pregnant, and she went to get a DNC, a schmishmartian, and a week and a half, 2 weeks later, no more than 2 though, she went to Miami and she got a BBL. But that was just her, and like, I don't know, she just kind of like laughed it off, like whatever, you know. So fast forward to March of 2020, she hits me up, and because, you know, I'm dancing, she says, I can't renew my escort license because here in Utah you have to have an SOB license to escort or dance or anything. And apparently she lied to me at that time. I did not know that this was the truth until actually it doesn't even matter. So she had hit me up saying, I can't get my license. I can't renew my license. So I'm like flat broke. Can you take me to Vegas and teach me how to dance? Because I really need to make some money. So I was like, and I have about also 4 to 5 people that could vouch for me to this day that know that that's what happened. And I also can share who the girl was that we stayed at her house at when this happened, after it happened. I don't know if she knows the story or not, but she's an amazing person as well, and hopefully she didn't get dragged into any of her BS. But we were heading out. I like packed up my stuff, she packed her stuff, and we were on the way out, and she was like, do you mind if I stop at the ATM, or do you mind if we stop at the ATM really quick, or a bank anywhere nearby? And I said, yeah, that's totally fine, on the way out, right? And then she starts proceeding to tell me that she, like, one of her friends was accusing her of stealing a high amount, thousands of dollars. We're not talking about $2,000-$3,000. We're talking about thousands of dollars. And she kept denying it, and I was like, I just got a weird feeling as soon as she started talking about it. Like, I could usually tell when she was lying, but this time, like, something really fell off. And she ended up having me stop at an ATM or a bank, and she pulls out about, oh, you can't even see, a very fat stack of hundreds, about maybe $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 worth of hundreds. I would honestly say at least 6 to 7. At least 6 to 7. And she deposits this money. And I'm sitting here like, did she fucking steal her fucking money? I really wonder if she stole her money. Whole fucking way there. Whole fucking way to Vegas. I'm sitting there, like, in my head, can't stop thinking about it. We get there, and, like, things just, like, I don't know. First, she was being cheap as fuck. Like, she didn't want to spend money on, like, gas. Like, she literally gave me, I think, maybe $45 for the whole trip for taking my car. And she didn't want to work. She didn't know how to hustle in the club at all. So it was a whole fucking shit show. Okay, we get there, and we're, like, staying at this girl's house that dances out there, and she's actually a pretty dope person. I can't really share about her because I haven't talked to her in a long time, since about when I left. But she's an amazing person, and mind you, like, when she got that abortion, she was, like, set that her and Bezos were gonna work out. Like, she thought that because she did that, she was gonna finally get to be with Bezos or whatever. But while in Vegas, she was literally sending pics to, like, down there, of her and to, like, guys and shit. And I was, like, thinking in my head, like, you got a man, like, why are you doing that? And then she would talk about, like, I swear she was talking about that Arab guy too. Maybe it wasn't him, but, like, she's obsessed with the Arab man, by the way. But I had reached out to Bezos and was like, dude, I feel like she's lying to me. Like, I feel like everything that she's been telling me, even about your guys' relationship, because she would say that he SA'd her and did stuff like that to her. And but she didn't know while we were in Vegas that I was talking to him and asking him questions, right? Well, I don't know, somehow it came out, like, getting home or whatever. I said something, I was like, dude, I just feel like you're lying. Like, I don't feel like that's the truth. Like, I feel like you stole that money from Ariana Bell. And, sorry if I said your name wrong, but she's like, no, I didn't. Like, we start fighting over message because by this time I had dropped her ass off already at home. And I had her stupid ass heels in my car. And she wouldn't stop blowing me up for those heels, even though she could barely even walk in them. She couldn't even... I'm not even going to talk about her character, about that, or whatever, but she was harassing me to get these stupid heels back, right? And she was, like, threatening to beat my ass because I had talked to Bezos about what had happened, about her lying and stuff. And she was like, that is my money. It's my money now, bitch. She told me that about this girl's money. So I know for sure she took the money, right? And it's just like a lot of things like about her character. Like I really started to question. And then she started saying like, I'm gonna tell the internet that Bezos raped me and blah, 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 blah. And mind you, like, she called my house on Christmas Eve in, like, what was it, it could have been 2018 or 2019, and was telling me, like, let's go, I think it could have been 2019. She was like, let's go and, like, run my car into his dealership, into all those cars. And, like, my mom heard her, was like, I think I mentioned it earlier, but she was like, don't be friends with her anymore. It was just like certain things like that. Like she was trying to really get this man in trouble for things when he had really only helped her. Like if I can remember, he assisted her with getting the AB. Like he was there for her financially, emotionally. He was doing everything for her. So I don't understand why she would try to even throw him under the bus. But yeah, all I know is she would try to take advantage. I have more things I could say. I don't think I'm ready to all the way like speak about stuff like that, but I will say she's a very terrible person, and I don't think it's mental illness. She knows that she's like this. She's an evil person. Stay far away from her.
People recognize me. I'm one of the first people that made a video about Bree Powers after she went viral for harassing that man. I did turn around and delete them because I was concerned about her targeting me and harassing me. As everybody can see, that is very common behavior with her. And I didn't want to subject myself to it. I did not expect as many people to speak up as there has been, so I do think that it's providing a little bit more of a safer space for me, and also putting me in a better position so I can speak up for our foster sisters. I have known Bree since we were about 15 or 16 years old. We're the same age. We're both 27 years old. The story I'm about to share, it's not my story, but I've been trusted to be the face and voice of the story. At 18 years old, Bree sexually trafficked two of her foster sisters out. She first got them into body rubs. One of them tapped out and said, hey, this doesn't feel right. I don't want to keep doing this. The second one continued to do body rubs with Bree, and she escalated to full-on escorting with Bree, which Bree was already doing. These girls were 16 at the time. Bree was 18 years old. They looked up to her, and she took advantage of that. She made money off of what these girls were doing, and she did not care about them. She only preyed on them and used them for her benefit. Bree is currently claiming that she has a nonprofit. This is not true. You can look this up. 501c3. There's no record within the IRS or any systems of her having a nonprofit. Not only is this girl a danger to society, she's a danger to foster youth, which is a very vulnerable community, and she should never ever work with them or be seen as a pivotal figure for any of them to look up to. Please do with this information what you will. If anybody has any questions, I can always dive deeper.
Take 1 million. I hope this time it actually works. It's frustrating every time I talk. It's either low storage. Last video, after solving the storage issue, I posted a 9-minute video finally. And after I got done talking, finally posting it, there was no audio. I survived Chucky. Talking about Chucky truly is traumatizing, gives me anxiety, and everything that Chucky has done to me and to my friends, to my family throughout the years, to this day. It's truly traumatizing. Some people should consider themselves fortunate to have only met Chucky for a couple hours, or a couple minutes, or a couple days. Like Deej, the dad, or the guy that she was upset with, or so many others. Talking about Chucky is truly traumatizing. You know, Chucky always has gone away with everything that they've done to me. So I'm in this video. Hopefully this video has an audio this time. Some more energy to talk about Chucky and all the things that they've done to traumatize me, tormented me throughout the years. Talk about being an essay victim, hopefully, and talking how Chucky, after essaying me, cried and said that they are the essay victim with what they've done to me, and claiming it that I've done it to them. My anxiety levels is off the charts. Trying to make a video in the past couple days. Chucky is a horrible person, isn't mentally ill, is a sociopath or a psychopath. Chucky needs to be institutionalized, but to get them the help that they need, and also to make sure that Chucky doesn't hurt any more people. And all the things that Chucky has done to me, my family, my mental well-being throughout the years is unbearable. Hearing some of the people speaking out helped me want to speak out, say what Chucky has done to me. And I'm sure Chucky's gonna come out and say that's all lies. And that alone is gonna be just traumatizing enough. Chucky is a terrorist and with the worst of people, and Chucky needs true help. So they can't do what they've done to me and countless others, terrorizing people. Chucky is a true narcissistic terrorist, a sociopath, pathological liar. All these are alleged. Remember, I'm not a doctor. Neither do Chucky sue me for things that I'm saying. So everything's alleged in this video. Let's end on that. And I hope everybody has a great, amazing day. For my first video of many videos, I will be exposing Chucky and everything that they have done and told me that they have done throughout the years. And I truly tried loving Chucky. You know, I felt bad for Chucky. I did not know Chucky is the horrible person Chucky having me play, thinking that they were the victim. I felt bad for Chucky, and I hope Chucky gets the help that they need and deserve. And we'll end it at that, I guess.
Hi guys, my name is Nima. I am from San Diego, California, but not originally. I just wanted to come on here and kind of tell you guys a little bit about my experience with Bree Powers. We pretty much met through a mutual friend on a trip to Florida, if I can recall. Yes, it was a trip to Florida for a mutual friend's birthday. So this is pretty much just part one. I want to be able to get some things off my chest because it's a pretty hectic story. It's a long story. So I'm gonna break it down into parts for you guys. Recently, a friend of mine contacted me and just told me, hey, check out TikTok. Is this girl the girl that you known for a while, that girl you had an issue with, and so on. And I was like, you know what, that's her. So I'm not going to give you guys details on what really happened in Florida because it looks like one of the mutual friends who was out there had already posted pretty much what went down in Florida. And yes, there is a lot of truth to that. The trip was pretty hectic and I felt really bad for Bree because there was a lot of tension amongst the girls, but you know me, I'm like really cool person. I'm very chill. I didn't really know the backstory before I met her, so I kind of see now why there was a lot of tension there. So once I got back from Florida, Bree and I stayed in touch, and she pretty much reached out and was asking like, hey, I love California, I would love to come out there sometime and visit you or whatever, but the flights are so expensive and I need a place to stay if I were to come out there. Is it okay if I come out there and I stay with you for a couple days? And being the nice person that I am, I let her come and stay with me for a couple of days, where actually she said it would be 2 days and she ended up staying a little bit longer, 2 extra days, which made it 4 days. So I go and pick her up from the airport and everything's cool, everything's a vibe. I give her my guest bedroom. So at this point I'm annoyed because she's overstayed her welcome and the room she was staying in and the bathroom she was staying in was a complete disaster. It was so disgusting. This girl asks for a ride 2 hours away to LA from San Diego. So I have my husband go and drop her off, and on the ride she asks my husband for his phone number and starts trying to flirt with him. So I had confronted her about the phone number thing. So not too long after, she had reached out to me again with the guy that she was sleeping with at the time, and he wanted to hire me to do makeup for several women for an Halloween event. So I took a flight out there and I got the job done. I had only spent like 2 days there and I came right back. So weeks down the line, she contacts me and she lets me know she's coming to San Diego again. And I'm like, okay, cool. At this point, she's staying with one of her friends that live out here in San Diego as well. So we all get together and we take a trip to LA. We go to LA, we have a good time, and on our way back, Bree's flipping out about the fact that her friend met a guy that she was actually interested in, or whatever the case may be. So Bree had like this kind of jealousy like vibe, so she was super mad at her friend for going to talk to some guy she had met or whatever. I dropped Bree off at her friend's house and I go home, and the next morning Bree called me pretty much not having a place to stay. So I'm assuming she got kicked out of her friend's house. So she seemed like she was in distress and needed a place to stay like immediately. So she pretty much invited herself to come stay with me at that point, and she came over and I was just like, okay, I guess I was just being a friend, I guess. I don't know. So I let her stay for a day, and that following day was her flight. That following day, I'm preparing for my son's graduation, and Bree wants to go and get a massage and asks me if I can go drop her off to go get a body sculpting massage. And I'm like, I don't really have the time for that right now. I'm preparing for my child's graduation, so it's just not gonna happen. So Bree starts flipping the fuck out. Bree, why don't you just take an Uber to the destination? It's only 15 minutes away, and go get your body sculpting, and I'll see you later because I'm unable to drive you there right now. And she goes ham. Instead of me preparing for my son's graduation, this girl flips out on me and says, well, we're in the car anyways, you can just simply go drop me off. Why do I have to take an Uber? Why do I have to spend money to go where I need to go? You're supposed to be my friend. And just starts going mad, nuts in the car. Mind you, you were initially not my guest. I offered you a place to stay because you were about to be sleeping on the street for the rest of your time being here, and I'm just being a good friend. I should not have to drive you around. Don't expect me to do anything. You're a grown woman. Get where you need to get. If you are going on a trip, be able to afford your trip, please, because that is just ridiculous. Literally, at this point, she's freaking out. She's screaming off the top of her lungs, and I'm like, you know what? This is enough. I'm not about to sit here while you scream at me and disrespect me and just say all types of crazy things to me while you're staying at my house, and I'm doing you a favor all because you can't afford to take an Uber. So literally I pull up, we pack her things, and she's gotta go at this point. And I toss her out. Get the fuck out. I tossed her out. And she wasn't trying to leave. She was like, I'm not going nowhere. I don't give a fuck, blah, blah, blah. And so I had to call security to remove her from my property. So security comes and tries to remove her from the building, and she's going nuts, like literally nuts. And here is the videos following that day.
She's lying. Just kick it out, please.
We taking it out.
Thank you.
We taking your order.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
I don't authorize you to record me.
The way you were just recording me right now? The way you were just recording me right now?
I'm a contacted model. You can't record me.
You're not a model.
Yes, I am a model. You just walked the red carpet with me in LA, Hollywood.
We're trying to get her out of here. She's on some cuckoo. Thank you.
I just said I'm just trying to charge my phone and look for my...
She's making videos about me right now online. So.
I posted that
and posted it on social media.
Trashy, stinky, smelly, as a 35-year-old mom. And yes, I am a model. Yes, I am a mom.
Straight up pulled a Karen, and she called the police on me. Police come knocking my door, and she tells the police that she left her phone charger in my place and that she needs to be able to come inside and find her phone charger. And I'm like, absolutely not. While the police is there, she's yelling and screaming and trying to beg me to allow her to come back in my place so she can come and stay with me for the remainder of her hours. Mind you, her flight is in 2 hours and the airport is literally 5 minutes away, so she could have went straight to the airport.
That I would like to wait for them to come so that I can retrieve property
After she literally physically gets tossed out of the building, she contacts me 30 minutes later, I would say, and she sends me a picture of her in my neighbor's house, followed up by, hey, guess whose house I'm in? I'm in your neighbor's house and he knows you, and guess what? He's letting me stay with him. My neighbor contacts me and he's like, I just wanted to be nice and allow her to be able to have her phone charged, and now she's coming on to me and she won't leave my place and she's not taking no for an answer. And I was like, well, she just got escorted out of the building. I don't know why she's back in here, so I would definitely contact security if she doesn't want to leave. So he contacts security and security goes knocking up on his door and she gets dragged out once again and thrown out of the building. So at this point, her flight is about an hour, maybe and a half before takeoff, and she can easily just go to the airport and take off. But she decides to miss her flight and hang out outside of my building. So at this point, she gets even crazier and starts blowing up my phone with text messages, blowing up my phone with calls, just harassing me and posting all types of unnecessary drama on Instagram, and just all these false accusations. Like, I was just so over it. It was just, I just didn't have time for the drama, so I had to block her. So as you guys can all see, you look outside my windows, my place is all glass surrounding, and there's no missing what's going on outside. Just as I thought the girl was gone and had gotten on her flight the day prior, like she was supposed to, I just happened to look outside my window to enjoy some precious views, and guess who's down there at the corner? She was wearing the same dress she was wearing the day prior when security had thrown her out. And she had the same dusty pink luggage and standing outside my property like some weird ass stalker. All while bashing me on Instagram and posting all types of crazy nonsense. I was just like, girl, you could have gotten on your flight. This girl was literally hanging outside my house like a freaking stalker, blowing up my phone with messages and calls, and it was just freaking strange. I had a real life stalker. Knowing me, I really don't have the mental capacity for drama, so I definitely choose my friends wisely for the most part, and to me it's always quality over quantity, so I just had to cut her off completely. Overall, I feel like Bree Powers does need a lot of help. She definitely needs to be held accountable for the things that she's done to people, because the things she's done to people is just inexcusable, and I definitely believe that she needs to be admitted to a 5150.
I wanted to come on here and kind of share my experience with Bree Powers after seeing everyone posting their experiences with her. And I don't want to touch on a lot of things, and mainly because it's just not something I'm super comfortable with. I've done a good job over the years of just like trying to move past it and forget about it and stay as far away from this bitch as I can. Because I'm not scared of any bitch, but like this girl she shakes me to my core. Like, she's just absolutely insane. And I really feel for her as far as like her mental health. Like, I know that there's definitely something wrong there that needs to be addressed. But it's not always excusable. So with that being said, my experience is, and this is just like my what do you call it? Sorry, I get so nervous. I don't do this type of thing, but I think she had an issue with me, or had it out for me, because she thinks I stole her man, which is now my husband of 6 years. They never had a thing together at all. He was in prison. She showed up one day for a visit because she found out he was in there, mutual friends, and was like showing her tits, sending him money. Like, he ate that shit up. He was like, okay, like, this bitch is dumb enough to send me money. Like, I'll take whatever I can get. Not saying that's okay either, but like, she put herself in that position. Okay, I had nothing to do with it. I didn't know my husband at the time. Fast forward, a couple years later, he ended up going back to prison for a parole violation, and during that time, she had reached out to me on a DM on Instagram. She was pregnant at this time and going through a lot of shit with her baby daddy, which I'm not sure why the fuck she reached out to me and like unpacked all of her shit on me, but me as a person, I felt bad for her, because I'm like, hey, I can tell no one wants to fuck with her. Like, so I befriended her, invited her to come over. We were throwing a little get together at her house for the 4th of July. She ended up coming to pick me up from my house. We went back to her house and got ready, which was whatever, I guess. Like, she seemed nice, like, we got along, whatever. Went back to my house, hung out, you know, whatever. After we had that party at my house, we ended up ditching that, and we went, I believe we went to like some taco place, or like this little bar, and got like these really good tacos, I remember. And then I know that the part where I don't remember much else, or anything at all actually, is she wanted to go pull up to this hookah lounge that at the time her ex used to go to, and I don't even know the name of it. I just remember, and she was driving, by the way. I just remember we pulled into this little shitty parking lot to see if we can see his car, and that's the last thing that I remember. I don't remember anything after that. I woke up and I was at, I want to say, I think I was on 45th at some like tracks or whatever, and my clothes are ripped. I had called a mutual friend who is a cop and was at my house that night. He came and picked me up and took me home. Told him the situation. I didn't end up going to the hospital until the next day to get a kit done, which, say what you want, I don't know. I didn't even know what had happened, because I woke up at the tracks. I wasn't like saying any accusations from the beginning. I just didn't know. But in a nutshell, her ex had reached out to me and told me that she had actually called him and was bragging about selling me to some dudes for $500 that she sat and watched, which I will post those screenshots as well. And I think after that, I just shut down, and I didn't want to say anything because, of course, she had all these followers. I didn't know, like, her history or, like, the things that she would say about people. Like, I didn't want this thing to be blasted. I didn't want people to know my business or, like, what happened to me. Like, it's embarrassing. I didn't want to have to, like, go online and defend myself. I have seen her post things about her exes, about them assaying her, beating her, like all these crazy, wild bullshit stories. She's even posted things about me a couple times that I'm a liar. And I think with that experience that I had with her and trying to just like bury it beneath the surface and forget about it, I didn't want that to be brought up and like have my whole business exposed and like people know what happened to me, because it's just embarrassing, and that was just a really hard time in my life. I was going through a lot at the time, and it just wasn't something that I was ready to open. But seeing everyone now share experiences with her kind of makes me feel safer to tell mine, without judgment. So, and again, I don't shame on mental illness. I do believe that she is mentally ill severely and needs help. But seeing all the shit that she's continued to do over the years, like, enough is enough, Brie. Like, this bitch needs to be exposed. This bitch needs to be locked up, mental facility, prison, I don't know, whatever it is. What she's done to people and what she continues to do to people is not okay. It's not acceptable. It's not, like, it's insane. So Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a shitty storyteller. I don't know. I get a lot of anxiety when I start talking about it because it's not something I want to like rehash. But yeah, that's my experience.
You are gonna want to pull up your seat for this one because that hashtag Seek Justice Courtney girl is about to get roasted with the truth.
About like Victoria, that she's like a bully, like because
she stole from us. We had to fire her, right?
Wait, what?
We fired her.
You fired Victoria?
Yeah, she left one night with all the money from all of her bottles.
For which club?
Button Down.
Button Down. She stole.
Now wait just a second here, Victoria Higgins. Is this the same mental health class I was taking that you couldn't show up to? That you said I refused to get? Okay, so what actually happened was Courtney hit me up and said she wanted to kill herself. They got married and she sent him back to jail. She was gonna kill herself, and because she had a son, I showed up and offered to help her clean her house. She was the one that like got in my car and was like, let's go somewhere, let's do something. So I actually went and picked up Savannah Peterson. She actually is also an ex-girlfriend of another ex-boyfriend that I dated, Cole Sundstrom. She had that viral video of him like messing up her whole house, and like he went to jail for that after as well. But she was with us. And actually, we were gonna go vandalize Victoria Novak Higgins' car and write community pussy on her car at 2 a.m. I even need to go back and find mine and hers texts because I have me and Jordan's mom's texts and they're great. Take a look at them. I was 19, Jordan was 30, and I never really considered to date him. I just told him I wanted to be his friend. He was the one that wanted me to log into Facebook and make us official. But I always had a really good friendship with his mom. His mom had his dad making bunny hatches like years after I'd broken up with him because he like couldn't stay loyal. Then Jordan's mom told me Courtney claims that Jordan had her raped while he was in jail on behalf of me. And I was like, I'm pregnant. And she was like, ignore the crazy Courtney stuff. Like, she hates Courtney, she's not like them. Courtney and Jordan still live in their basement. Like, she's miserable, horrible. This is the mutual cop friend that she's talking about. I was talking about it with Jordan's mom. His name was Scooby, so finally he gets back to me. He never wanted to hang out with her. He tracked her down at 2 a.m. and then he brought her home at 1 to 2 a.m. So she never went to the hospital. She never was found at 4 a.m. She was telling my friend she woke up at my house at 6 a.m. That's why I brought the cameras to the police station. Let me take a step back and remind you of when I said that me and Miss Courtney Goff were going to go write community pussy on Miss Victoria Novak's car. Yeah, that's right. We went to Walmart and we bought the spray cans and everything. And we went and got Savannah Peterson all the way from West Valley. And we drove all the way to Murray, to Tammy's house, to where Tammy was staying. Would always complain that Victoria would leave her daughter home alone for days with a babysitter, and Victoria would stay out drunk for days, just sleeping with like 5 different men at a time. So after me and my ex-fiance got engaged, I got pregnant, and then Victoria was hanging out with him and would send me mean videos like this. I was 21 and pregnant.
Fucking stuffs her face with chips.
21.
If she got an ass, she's fat.
So right here we have a really valid question.
I get this question, so let me just clear it up really quick. A majority of my...
So someone sent me this video days ago and I literally didn't even watch it because I watched it, and a top comment an hour ago, how did she end up working for you if you didn't like her? She blocked me. What was this like? That he introduced me to, hear that? Now she's gonna say he didn't introduce me to her. So Victoria was actually married like years ago, and she cheated on her husband, like full blown cheated on her husband with a club promoter, because she's literally a club groupie. The club promoter caught her cheating on him by posting herself on Backpage, spreading her and her cheeks for $200, literally. And like, I know this for a fact because when I worked at Button Down and Button Up before, when I stopped working and when I was pregnant, she asked me to get escorts because she wanted to go hang out with guys from the club. And like, the professional escort that I provided her with literally only hung out for $200 an hour. She didn't do anything. But Victoria was completely naked and drunk and fucked the guys and stayed all night long for $400. That's not how you escort. Literally, the definition of an escort is someone who accompanies you socially. They exchange their time for money. The definition of a prostitute is someone who exchanges sex for money. So Victoria's a full-blown prostitute. My ex literally planned for her to fuck her way to the top of the club just so she could fire me from my job and get me kicked out of the club, because that's genuinely the type of people they are. Text messages to prove it. So yeah, because he was causing problems with me and my friend at the club, I told my ex that I would get him kicked out next time he tried to cause problems. So him and Victoria decided to fuck her way to the top so she could get me kicked out of the club, literally. I still have a lot of people that think that I work at the club specifically because managers named Victoria are telling people, and even coworkers, that I was still working at the club for a very long time. I was even supposed to meet with one of the managers for coffee today, and he stood me up. So this is literally my final straw with the club. I don't work there anymore because there's a lot of shady things going on with the club. One, I feel like they're stealing our money, where us cocktails would make almost $1,000 and would only leave with like $300 for the day. Our money at the end of the night, and our paychecks was about the same every single weekend to the dollar amount. So it didn't really add up. Honestly, the main reason why I don't work there is because Victoria Novak has been a hater of mine for over 6 years. It goes way back to when, I guess her boyfriend was my good friend and allowed me on the stage at Moose on her birthday, and she held a grudge against me ever since. She honestly would literally message every single body that I would hang out with on social media and send them, I kid you not, a paragraph this long of hate about me, asking them why they're my friends, asking them why they would hang out with me. Not only that, but she really caused a lot of problems between me and my ex-fiance. I was pregnant with his baby. She was always hanging out with him, convince him that I was just not a good person. And when Victoria was telling us cocktails that she wanted to steal the manager of 3 years' job, that I was worried about my job, that Victoria clearly does not like me. And she stopped scheduling me like the first week that she became manager. She only scheduled me one day, and I made it very clear to her that I needed to work every day so I could pay my rent. And she continued to only schedule me once a week, and gradually not at all after the second week. The very last straw that I have is literally last weekend. I went to the club with my girlfriend, VIP, and my homie to the table, and they checked my ID at the door. They knew exactly who I was. I filed unemployment well over 2 months ago, and I was just in the club 3 weeks ago. The manager, Michael, let me in through the back door. So when I went in with Victoria's former fuck buddy, Tamim, to his VIP table, she ended up getting jealous and having the security yank me out of the club and physically assault me. I literally have it all on video. The excuse was that I filed unemployment against the club. So, but I filed unemployment 2 months ago when I was just in the club 3 weeks ago. So, I mean, but now all of a sudden it's a problem that I'm there with your fuck buddy on taxes and not claiming any of their employees. Claiming that I made less than $3,000 the whole year that I worked there. That doesn't make sense, right? So not only that, but Utah Labor Commission informed me that Victoria is not listed as a trained or legal licensed manager for that club. So she's actually legally managing the girls, and so is Michael, because he's actually not listed as a manager either. Ross and Doug are listed as the managers, actually. So the people that view your stories the most are always at the top. And look who that is. Victoria. I said I don't really like to cause drama. So come to find out, like, the reason Victoria got the management position when she was underqualified, because we all know she only made like $500 a night in sales, and she literally sells drugs to tables and herself for $500 to tables to go home with them. She's fucking the manager, Michael. They've been fuck buddies for years, and she's also dating the head of security, and I guess she's still fucking Tamim. Who knows? I think she has like 80 fuck buddies. Like, she's literally community pussy. She's fucked all of Salt Lake City. So, I mean, who hasn't she fucked, honestly?
Yo, I can't believe Victoria just admitted that she was a part of giving me alcohol as a minor and bringing me into the clubs as a minor. Like, how do you admit that stuff on TikTok? That's wild.
So Macy and I took over managing it and owning it.
Okay. And so then you're saying she took a bunch of cash home and stole it?
She took all of the money that night from her tables and just left. So
And
she
just
had to go
left.
see with her mom, with the left, and then wouldn't come back and,
And
give
then,
her money and wouldn't.
and she didn't bring back any of the money?
Out of that.
Story time of how when I was 21, I got engaged to the guy in my friend group that convinced everyone that his wife at the time that he was divorcing was crazy. Crazy Amber is what he called his ex-wife. But she has receipts for everything. Crazy Amber. Literally everyone and their mom would feel so sorry for him about all these crazy lunatic stories that he would make up about her. And when she had called me and told me that he was a narcissist, and I basically just laughed because everybody just throws that word around like everyone's just a narcissist, right?
You hit me.
I know, it's not, I'm trying to justify it. I'm telling you, I
and
cannot.
then you pulled my hair and you hit me in the head.
I know.
And you said you were gonna kill me.
Yeah, because I was more angry and honestly, when I get mad, all I think about is her. Honestly, I fucking hate her. To this day, I hate her. I cannot hate anybody any more than I hate her. That's why. No, actually, I never laid my hands before on females until after fucking Amber, because I was like fucking regretting not killing her or beating her up or hitting her or whipping her ass up.
Dude, me and Ahmed haven't been together in weeks, and he just showed up to the movie theaters and followed me for 2 miles. Yeah, he just called me. You put me in serious danger. I'm seriously scared of him. I tried to be his friend and got him to finally accept it, and now I'm just terrified. What the F are you guys talking about? I put you in danger. He said you told him I was there. You saw me. No. The F? So he was just stalking me then? I don't know, he knew you were there. So that, my dear friends, was Dijon, Victoria Novak's ex that was a club promoter that got her into the club at 21, that she cheated on her then husband that was the father of her daughter with this guy Dijon that was telling me that basically Ahmed was stalking me, and that Dijon did not tell Ahmed that I was at the movie theaters with my then pro bodybuilder ex, Jaden Casey. Ahmed was stalking me and Jaden Casey. I also called the cops and had to have my car checked for a tracker. It was really crazy. Literally the last thing I said to my ex, because him and Victoria had been coming around into the club for a couple months. Victoria eventually got a job. I told him, because he tried to fight my friend, that if he, I was like, I've been nice allowing you to come into the club the last few weeks. I unblocked him for this. If you do it again, like I'll have you 86, I'm gonna re-block you, block. Then I get a text from another number saying, you kicked out of the club, I'll send your nudes to your grandma. And fast forward a month later, Victoria came into the club with Ahmed for the last like month or two, got a job as a cocktail as well, and then she ended up stealing my manager Gabby, who was married to my other manager Aaron. They were my managers for like 3 or 4 years. She stole their job. Like the whole couple actually quit. They were literally, like she planned and schemed it actually. Victoria, like she was telling us that Gabby didn't want to be a cocktail waitress anymore, that she was going to convince Ross and Doug that Gabby didn't want her job. While Gabby and Aaron were on a rave weekend, she took over. This is audio recording, the guy.
Like Victoria, because
No, she stole from us. We had to fire her, right?
Wait, what?
We fired her.
You fired Victoria?
Yeah, she left one night with all the money from all of her bottles.
For
and all
which
of her
club?
Button Down.
Button Down.
From the actual club owner and the real club owner. The guy that she was working for, Ross East, is now convicted of tax evasion and stuff, because he was actually only listed as the manager at the club at the time. Jorge Bazario was the original founder and owner of this club. A $5 million like settlement in the system because of it now. $500,000 granted to me because of Victoria stealing my job. Back to the story time. So basically, I'm feeling for Ahmed. He's like this poor little victim that was abused by his business owner ex-wife. When all this stuff started happening, 21, and I posted him admitting he hit me, people were coming out of the woodworks. They're like, of course Ahmed, of course he did this. There's so much stuff in the system. Actually, like my lawyer was showing me in the paperwork. Ahmed tells me all these things, like his dad works for the Palestinian government. He's in Hamas. He's tied with a Governor Cox. His family is tied with all these big people. that he has diplomatic immunity, he has all these cop friends. The reason I get with Ahmed is because in the court's eyes, in the law's eyes, his ex-wife is the perpetrator. He has a protective order against her. He calls her crazy. She's the loony bin. At the time, like, I had no criminal record. And in fact, the guy that they're saying that I assaulted at the tanning salon, I have proof and evidence. I have his criminal history.
So this is Robert Balding's criminal history.
Yeah.
Dismissed, right?
No, this is his assault.
Oh.
Yes, your assault was dismissed.
He was a convicted felon at the time, drug court, robbery, like all this thing. This guy in his like 40s. He was violating his protective order by being around his ex-wife at the time, my lawyer had said. And they were trying to charge me, a 23-year-old girl, for apparently after he had slammed me in the door and dragged me out of the salon, I reached up and punched him in his throat. And I was like, I don't recall that, but I would think that that's self-defense from a girl to a man. Like, he shouldn't be touching me. He doesn't even work there. And he was violating his protective order by being around his ex-wife. Like, that's just crazy. The article really blown out of proportion. They were bringing up charges that I wasn't convicted of. And around the same exact time, they were painting out Ahmed Baseso as some hero for practicing his right to bear arms. These were the charges that they brought up that I was not convicted of were some serious charges for some parking lot incident that had happened like a year prior. The girl had gotten paid $600 from my car insurance. I got a call from the detective on the case at the time, and I was in Miami, and he was like, oh, well, who had your car a few days ago? And I was like, well, I did. That was me. I was driving. Like, what's the problem? He's like, oh, well, did you not know you hit this car? And I was like, no. Here's my information. Here's my insurance information. I thought we were all good. And then like 6 or 8 months later, they show up at my door for a felony aggravated assault after I break up with Ahmed. Like, it was crazy. They put me in the news of like as some crazy person against this actual convicted felon. Like, he was an actual convicted felon, literally sentenced to drug court. I was just 23 years old, minding my own business in school. The night before, Abdul Aziz Al-Ansari, put me in a headlock and broke my neck. That was literally the night prior is when he did that and broke my neck the night prior. So can you imagine why I was so ecstatic tanning salon when a man touches me?
Is this your brother?
Yeah, he's done that to my door.
Oh, he's done that.
He's done that.
So he knows.
Yeah.
So she's so luck now.
Yeah.
So he knows.
Yeah.
How to unlock it. You know? So
yeah.
What luck? But I think this is what he did. I think. I'm not 100% sure.
And you guys were where?
I was sleeping.
You were in the room, and then Ali,
Salah, and he stayed here. Just because they want to keep drinking. I was totally like, I want to sleep. I didn't. How old are you now?
24.
24? Yeah.
I'm 2 days older than Aziz.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you have plenty of life in front of you, so just...
I remember when I said Abdul Aziz broke my neck the night prior to me getting assaulted at the tanning salon? He said January 9th. Remember that day is because it's that day. And then 4 days later was his friend's birthday, Qusai Mosin. He has military immunity. And Qusai threw a party and caught Aziz broken into the girl that rents from Qusai's room. Girl with his pants down. Me and Aziz actually had a promise to get married to each other by 25 if we didn't marry anybody else since like high school, actually. Ahmed actually loved bombing me. Like, he would buy me Starbucks like every day and buy me a bunch of things. Aziz actually was really stingy with money. Like, he would make me do 50-50 with everything, like pay my half of everything. I'd broken up with Aziz, found out about the rape randomly in my car one day when I was about to meet him at the gym. And then I confronted him about it when he got in my car. I gave Aziz back his promise ring, and his sister set my letter on fire. This Surviving Brie Powers page is solely made by my ex, who's known to literally abuse multiple women. I'm like the 5th woman in the state of Utah. Ahmed Baseso and Abdul Aziz Al-Ansari play a role into setting me up in the criminal justice system. In 2020, I started dating Abdul Aziz. I hadn't dated Ahmed in over a year and a half. I got with my ex Jaden Casey, got pregnant by Jaden Casey. December 2019 is when I was no longer pregnant because of Ahmed. I didn't talk to him for months. Dating Aziz. The earthquakes happened. Aziz is in Ohio. Ahmed comes over as a friend. He's being really nice and supportive, saying all the right things. He's threatening me. He's threatening my grandma. To him, he's gonna just take it from me. He tries to FaceTime Aziz, tries to call him, tries to tell him that we're back together for 2 days. instead of Aziz calling the cops like he should, he drove from Ohio and showed up to Ahmed Baseso's car dealership and threatened Ahmed Baseso's dad and his brother that he was gonna Ahmed's sister. I'm in the car with Belle. I'm thinking Aziz is gonna shoot Ahmed, like we're about to meet up. I'm freaking out.
Ahmed Baseso blames his ex-wife for him beating my head into the car steering wheel while 9 weeks pregnant.
That's why. No, actually, I never laid my hands before on females until after fucking Amber, because I was like fucking regretting not killing her or beating her up or hitting her or whipping her ass up or some shit like that. Do you want to feel here? To this day, it hurts right here. Do you feel it? Because it's like really sensitive, right? Okay, give me a finger, because I have stupid products, so give me like this finger, I guess. Fold these. Do you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
All of this. You don't feel it here, you don't feel it. There's a ditch here, like a small indent. That was from Amber. I have another one in the back of my head, but the one on the top.
So basically, because of your anger for Amber, it's okay to hit me?
No. What I'm trying to say is, I showed so much self-restraint with her that after that, and after I walked away, I was like, and started realizing, I was like, why the fuck would I take her when she had her tantrums and let her do what the fuck she wanted to do, like break a fucking cup on my head, or smash a cup to the side of my head, or take a fucking vase and throw it at me, or take a nightstand light, the big ones, the copper ones, and smash it into your fucking skull. That's the one that gave me the indent and fucking passed me out and had me actually fall a fucking flight of stairs. Where she tied me up in the fucking room and shit. So.
Dude, you like...
I liked it? Do not say that.
You hit me.
I know, it's not, I'm trying to justify it. I'm telling you, I cannot.
And then you pulled my hair, and you hit me in the head.
I know.
And you said you were gonna kill me.
Yeah, because I was angry, and honestly, when I get mad, all I think about is her, honestly. Fucking hate her. To this day, I hate her. I cannot hate anybody any more than I hate her, because she's like always there, and to this day I feel like I'm getting victimized by her, and she's using you to fucking get to me and victimizing me, and she's telling you stupid shit, and you're fucking falling for it, and you're playing her game. You're playing her game. You're one of her puppets. You're really one of her dumb, retarded puppets that she's using you, feeding you whatever the fuck shit that you need to fucking be fed in order for you to be stupidly paranoid, to bug me and push all my buttons while she's happy sitting. She's like, let me see how much that is gonna last. And she's smoking her cigarettes with that big ugly smirk on her fucking face. Yeah. So I'm not trying to justify it. I'm not trying to give you an excuse. I told you.
You almost ripped my other ear out.
And I know. And that's when I felt like an ear in your fucking ear. That's why I let go. But what I'm trying to say is, I almost snapped. Or really snapped. Okay? If it wasn't for your stupid earring, I would have really fucking been snapped now. Because your earring, I was like, what the fuck is in my hand? What is that? You know, I'm like, oh, that's your fucking
So you're saying you would have been a lot worse if my earring didn't fall out?
No, I think that made me like fucking pause for a second and think what the fuck I was doing. And I didn't know what the fuck I was doing because I had like a fucking raging psychotic moment. And I'm being honest with you. But instead of you fucking listening and trying fucking understand on helping me heal and help me never.
Knew that this person has been banned from Mutual for violating our community guidelines. She shouldn't be able to do this to anybody in the future, so hopefully that helps make you feel a little bit better.
Someone made multiple reports about me doing business on Mutual 2 weeks ago, which led to me being permanently banned. Hi Mutual, I'm the girl that you banned on behalf of DJ 2 weeks prior to that video coming out, actually. You guys actually permanently banned me on behalf of DJ before I even tried to give him the opportunity to show up to my place of business. So before this video even happened, you guys banned me on behalf of DJ because he reported that I was doing business on the app and I didn't match with him and he was being rude and petty. So, that's interesting. I do have email conversations going back and forth with me and mutual support over and over again. There has been many reports made about me in the past. People were reporting that I was married, some other things, or I wasn't responding quick enough, things like that. And I'm a pretty girl. Sometimes it was taking me 2 weeks to respond to people. So I'd get back on the app and then I would be permanently banned because people were mad that I didn't respond to them quick enough or whatever. And so I am gonna ask the mutual app to permanently unban me. It is a little bit ridiculous that you are siding with a non-Mormon that literally said on this app he was gonna sue me for claiming he was LDS when he literally claims he was on the LDS looking for me. So you're publicly supporting a narcissist and a liar that has lied blatantly in his videos over and over and over again.